What's good, everybody? We are back. It is your boy Jarod and your girl Gabby. Episode 90 of the Kicks and Shit Show.
Wild shit. Ooh, how we fancy. We are fancy, y'all. I have a confession, though, Jarod.
Yes.
I have a confession for the people that are watching us. If you're listening, earmuffs for the next, 37 seconds. So, y'all know I have a lot of sneakers. How much? Not going to reveal. That's a very personal question. But typically, when we do this show, you see me in front of my sneakers. Right now, you are seeing behind the curtain.
Correct.
Behind one of the many curtains, because I'm always on the road. So this is my West Coast curtain that you're seeing right now, removed. But I just want to say that I know I had a virtual background of my sneaker closet, but it was really mine. You could tell by the organized chaos in there. It was not cute. It was not pretty. So I just wanted to say on the record.
Who's not believing you that
shit.
Who's not believing you that it wasn't yours?
I don't know.
Yeah, nobody.
Haters gonna hate. Taters gonna tate. Want to make sure that we're covered. Thank you and good night.
Yeah,
I knew there was a sound effect coming. That's the other fun thing about this. We got sound effects. Jarod's been playing all the sounds.
Oh, listen, I like sound effects, man. It's we're gonna add more, guys, to kind of make this a little more fun for you guys. You have a little running laugh meter or something, just some fun things. Well, so we don't need to ask where in the world you are, because you just said you are on the West Coast in your West Coast home. Still haven't found us a West Coast studio yet, by the way, but that's neither here nor there.
Tough out there in these streets, Jay, let me tell you.
Well, and didn't you pick a wonderful time to be on the West Coast? Because it was snowing here today.
I heard that. What I was going to say, it was a little bit temperate when I took off on Sunday. I'm a little bit bummed that I landed after my Knicks were in town playing the Clippers, but it's okay. I can't see every Knicks game in every arena.
I mean,
we'll get there someday.
And are you also like, this Knicks season is going to put you out of your misery soon enough? So, right? I
mean, yes and no. I mean, yes. First of all, yes.
Yes.
All of the yes. But, I love a basketball game. I love seeing new stadiums. I mean, I've been to, it's always going to be the Staples Center for me. It's always going to be Staples Center for me. And I've been to see the Lakers, but I've never been for the Clippers. So, and I've had friends from my MSG fam that have worked at the Clippers. It's a great organization. Would have loved to see it against my team. We actually won on Sunday, which is it's a beautiful day. And
rare.
yeah, I mean, I heard about the snow. So sorry, guys.
Not great. But speaking of the other tenant of Madison Square Garden, your favorite arena, the New York Rangers will be in the playoffs. You at least have that to look forward to.
Very excited about that. I love playoff hockey. I feel like I wish there was a way that we could do like a 10-day contract or like a playoff contract for Hank, just so he can come out of retirement. Let's lower the jersey from the rafters, bring him back, pack him in the Louis Vuitton, and stick him through security so we can get him back on the team.
Back up in a Louis Vuitton. I love it. That
was one of the gifts. I don't know if you saw the Louis Vuitton gift at the retirement ceremony. It was beautiful.
Shout out to Henrik Lundqvist, greatest goaltender in Rangers history. Well, what's interesting about that, though? Okay, yes, like all the records and everything say he's the greatest goaltender, but Mike Richter won a Stanley Cup.
I mean, we can debate about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Where do you stand?
About sports and players in general.
Where do you stand?
Richter's amazing. I think Hank broke the records, right? Like, is a ring enough to make you the greatest of all time?
For some people, it is. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
I mean, Patrick Ewing doesn't have a ring, and I think he's one of the greatest Knicks of all time. So
that's true. You're right.
I don't think that's a make or break. It's like a nice to have, not a need to have. I think, what was it, in 2014 when the Rangers made that run against the Kings? That I thought was the year.
That was the year.
The Stanley Cup final. I mean, that was the year.
That was the year.
Until it wasn't the year. Yeah. But, I love playoff hockey. It's like a whole different sport. I mean, that's true with most sports in the playoffs. It's just a different level. I'm happy to see one of the New York franchises at my favorite second home, or I guess third home at this stage.
You got so many homes.
Vagabond life.
Your vagabond life. We always talk about the Nikes and Jordan brands and all these Adidas and all the big brands. What I'm loving, and our guests coming up next, I love the fact that there's so much happening with the non-big brands. It's not that New Balance and Saucony and they're not like big brands. They're just not. They're not those, right? They're not those guys, but they're doing some really good stuff. And there are opportunities, I think, there for more creativity, as you often talk about, with partnerships. And I'm really looking forward to what those brands do this year. I think there's a real space for them, and there's a market that, maybe because the Nikes are aspirational, right, in so many ways, these other brands are like, but we're for everybody, right? That they can kind of play in that space.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I think, now that sneaker culture has grown so much into popular culture, there's a demand for different styles. And we talk about this all the time, that there is something for everyone in sneaker culture, right? And I think that's really beautiful. I also think that, Nike, and I'm not saying some of these other brands are easy to get their hands on. If it's a hype collab, hype beast gonna hype beast. But at least there's a variety out there, right? And like, Nike has gotten so challenging to get a pair at retail that it's changed the game in general, where resale is the vibe. But I think even on some of these hype collabs, like the resale is a little bit more reasonable. I mean, I just got a pair of 550s, the New Balance, for those who are not as familiar with some of the styles, just to check it out. I mean, and I like that these brands, because of the way sneaker culture is, are pushing kind of their original DNA, right? Like New Balance is always something I equated with like the prep school that I grew up in. My brother had New Balance tennis sneakers. I had New Balance running shoes when I was in college, and they were great. Like it's a great functional shoe, classic style. The J. Crew partnerships, were amazing. It's just a different vibe, right? Than something like a 550. 550 though, the way that New Balance is experimenting with colors, with materials, with even the color blocking, not just the use of color, I think is something that's really cool and beautiful. And I like seeing the other brands that are out there that have a space to kind of play in whatever that lane is. We always talk about another lane. There are so many lanes out there these days that everyone can kind of find their own, right? Like we had Darren Ravel on a while ago who talked about all of his food sneakers, right? If that's what you want to collect, is sneakers around
Do
food.
you?
Like I love how inclusive sneaker culture is finally starting to become. And that's, as much as I dog on sneaker culture becoming part of pop culture, that is the one thing that I think is really beautiful, is that now there's a different level of access in a way, right? If you know where to go, there's different styles, different vibes, like it's okay. And I think when we started this show, Jay, we talked about something that was making its way through Instagram about a girl who had like a sick Hirachi collection, right? One of our very first episodes. And like, people were like, ugh, I don't understand. So to see where we've come from there, like that girl's not going to get the same hate if she posts that collection today. I think it's a really beautiful thing, and seeing progress as it's happening. It's always slow. It always feels even slower. But when you look back to see how far things have come, I don't know. I'm excited to see what the look ahead looks like.
I like it. You talked about inclusivity, and this being, of course, Women's History Month. I'm super excited about our next guest because, she is someone that is doing amazing things in the space as it relates to inclusivity. And I'm just really looking forward to this conversation with her because I feel like it's really going to, open some of you guys out there, your eyes and your minds to how we can really make this whole industry better. And, not to sound corny, but like the world better, right? What's good, y'all? We are back. And Gabby, we are not alone. We are joined by the founder of Golden Confidence, the co-founder of Thick Laces, digital host, sneaker enthusiast, creator, model, Essie Golden. What's good, Essie?
Wow, what an introduction.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that.
I mean, don't you want to just take him everywhere?
I'm impressed right now. I did all that. Wow.
A whole vibe, girl.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be on this show. I'm excited. You guys have some really dope people on your show, and you guys are like official. So for me to be on here and be a newbie, I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. I'm honored to be here. So thank you guys for wanting to talk to me.
We are happy to have you. And normally, Essie, what I do is I start with the beginning, like when do you fall in love with sneakers? But we're gonna get to sneakers. I actually want to start with, so what you do with Golden Confidence is something very important. This is Women's History Month, so we're going to get into, how society views women and how women are trying to take control of their narrative and all those things. But I want to start with you at the beginning. Where did the inspiration come from to start this? And when did you, as a woman, decide, okay, I'm in a space where I'm comfortable and I can do this?
Absolutely. So, wow. So Golden Confidence started like prehistoric Instagram days. Honestly, I feel like a grandma sometimes when I talk about it. But
On the Instagrams.
I
That's so
when we couldn't
meta.
DM people, it was just like if you had to slide in somebody's DMs, you had to like go to a backpack photo and like, hey, what's up? You know, like that kind of thing. So I moved to New York from Florida. I was watching a lot of America's Next Top Model. I wanted to be Takara. I thought she was the most beautiful woman in the entire world. And seeing her be 100% her confident self and own that, I was like, oh my God, I think I could do that. So I moved to New York, and me being the Leo that I am, I thought that people would fall in love with me. I was going to be on billboards, like the red carpet was going to happen for me, and nobody cared. And that's the beauty of New York City, though, because you're going to learn, you know, how to be tough, how to hustle, how to be a businesswoman, how to be stronger. So I moved there, and the fashion in New York was so much better than Florida. Oh my God. And I was seeing so many beautiful people of all shapes and sizes wear all different types of things. And it's inspired me to find my own fashion sense. So I was wearing these outfits, and women were asking me, like, where did you get that? I wish I could wear that. And so I decided to start a hashtag Golden Confidence as a way to show other women, like, I'm wearing it, they're wearing it, this person's wearing it. You could do it too. Don't feel alone. Like, go out there, go kill it. Don't make yourself feel like because of whatever size you are, you can't wear what you want to wear. So since then, it took off. I was super surprised by that. Over 1 million uses on Instagram alone, which is insane.
Wow. That's
Um,
amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was also hosting body positive pool party events, and the pictures that came out and the videos that came out actually inspired a scene in the Hulu TV show Shrill. They did a body positive scene for a pool party, and the
Very
writer of the
familiar.
show was like, "Oh my God, I saw the movement that you've had, and it made me change what was in my book. Put this on a TV show." And just thank you for the work that you've done. So you never really think the work that you're doing, something as simple as just showing up as your true self and wearing an outfit, would be an inspiration to people. But I'm honored and grateful to have been able to be a part of so many women's journey, for sure.
I mean, I love that. That's amazing. But the important thing you hit on was the importance of representation and seeing people like yourself in public popular spaces, right? And
Absolutely.
people who fit traditional norms don't understand that, right? Like, because what they see every day is themselves. So they're like, well, this is what it is, and it's just fine, and it's all good, right? Like, not a woman, but as a dark skinned black man, right? To see dark skin on
Absolutely.
TV is a big deal, right? Same for you. And so, I want people to really understand when we talk about the power of representation and seeing yourself in public spaces, look at what Essie was able to build and create, and look at the effects it's having on millions of people, like, that she doesn't even know. Like, this is the beauty of it. And when we say representation matters, this is exactly what we mean.
100%. And
Absolutely.
Takara was iconic, by the way. So, like, I love that you
Oh,
shouted her out. Like, that was the early stages of Top Model, too. So, way ahead of its time.
absolutely. Her and this model by the name of Mia Amber, who was in the movie Road Trip. I'm not sure if you ever saw it.
Hmm.
But she was 6 foot, and she was absolutely stunning and beautiful and graceful when she walked in the room and killed so many different campaigns. So seeing both of them as two beautiful black women in an industry and in a world that's telling you to be smaller, be lighter, be different, be whatever, and they own it and killed it. Like, I'm here because they opened doors for me. So like that's why, you talking about how representation is so important. It was a game changer. It's crazy not seeing yourself. I mean, take plus size out of it, not being able to see positive representation of black people on TV or black people in the magazines, right? People only approach you or think of you one way, but being able to see, now what we're seeing on TV, what we're seeing in the magazines and everything else like that, it inspires you. Like, there's a bigger world out there. There's so much better out there. So I'm forever grateful for the doors that they opened and the way that they paved for me. And it's been an honor to leave that door open and pave new ways for other people.
And funny how it works. People who are gatekeepers in these industries, it sells and it works. You make money. Funny how that works.
I know. If only the people knew, Jarod. If only the people knew.
Crazy,
Crazy.
crazy, but whatever.
Okay, so you're someone who I imagine growing up, you liked streetwear, you liked kicks, right? That was your thing. So let's talk about that journey, right? So when did you start realizing, I like this stuff? Like, oh, sneakers, yeah, this is me. I'm doing this.
Yeah. I mean, so full transparency, I grew up in the foster care system. So from home to home, whatever I had got passed down to other children that were in the home. So me having brand new sneakers was not happening. So, but I admired it from afar. It wasn't until I got to my permanent family home, they gave me as a welcome home gift, as a welcome to our family, a classic pair of white Reeboks. And that was the first name brand shoe that I ever received. So I know some people feel a way about that, like it's either the Nikes or the
What
this or
kind
the
of
that.
what kind
If
of
anyone
way?
feels a certain kind of way, bye, boy, bye, girl,
This
bye.
sneaker community from the outside looking in until I got into it is very intimidating. Like you hear people talk about their
That's
favorite
fair.
shoe. They waited in line.
Mhm.
They made the shoe with the designer. That's how you hear it sometimes. So to receive the first name brand shoe, first name brand anything, and to finally fit in with people was like, oh man, like I get it. I never knew a piece of fashion or a piece of clothing could make you feel that way. But that's a brand, Reebok in particular, that's very close to my heart just because that's the first thing that I ever received. Um, Again, didn't have a lot of money, had Nikes, had different shoes in between that time. It wasn't until much later, don't kill me, um,
That's okay.
the Sakai waffles
Mm.
came out,
Mm.
and I believe that was 2019. So again, I'm more the new girl.
All good.
I love when a piece can speak for me, and I feel like sneakers are doing that. I would say years previously, I don't know what's going on within that particular world, but streetwear, women's streetwear, like when Married to the Mob and Hell's Bells and Dime Piece LA came out, when they had like that era, I loved the pieces that spoke for me. Like I didn't have to say a word. Like your t-shirt did that for me, your pants or your whatever, or your bag did that for me. And that's kind of died down a little bit. So I hope that we have like a resurgence of brands like that. But I'm realizing that sneakers are doing the same thing that streetwear and street, t-shirts and stuff did for me before. So that's the first sneaker in a long time that I was like, oh, that like what is that? Like the double checks and the different colors and the this and the that. And I'm a Leo. Like I want you to tell me like my outfit is cool or where did I get that? So when I put those on, it was like, oh, you got your hands on those? I was like, ooh, I like where this is going. More of this. Ask me where I got it. So that kind of sparked it. And then the pandemic happened, and I was online. I was following a lot of dope women who can make, I mean, the most basic pair of sneaker look incredible. And I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. It was almost like collecting art for me. So I was like, okay, I want that shoe. I want that shoe. I want that shoe. And that just kind of like reignited my love and my passion for sneakers. So thank you,
Um,
Corona.
okay. I think you're one of the few people to say that, but I respect it. I mean,
Yes.
I do think though that was such a time for creativity. I mean, we started our podcast during the Rona. I think
Yeah.
we talk a lot about sneakers and about street style. It was a great time for creativity because people were bored in the house and they were in the house bored, right? So like, what else are you gonna do? Let me like style some fits. Let me learn how to contour. Let me do all those things that I've never had the time to do.
Exactly.
One thing I want to talk about is especially being in fashion, right? And like you're a tall girl, you're a curvy girl. I can relate to that because I'm the same way, which it's always been hard to find the look and find the style. So I'd love to hear, I know we talk a lot about sneakers, but that evolution in street style and kind of like what that looked like. I know for me, like back in the day, they didn't have bike shorts, not in my size, not in my shape. Gerard knows I love a good bike short,
Sure
but like
do.
I was rocking men's hoodies because it was the only thing that was long enough, and the guys had like the flyer fits and colorways. So I'd love to know kind of like what that journey looked like for you.
Listen, I mean, as a plus size girl my entire life, I was the girl in seventh grade wearing like Lane Bryant. I'm like the only one business casual in seventh grade with a briefcase because
I love
I
that.
get and
Shouts to Lane Bryant though. Lane
nobody
Bryant
wants like
is
is
a
that a
vibe.
suit? Like where are you going? Nobody wants to be that person. But unfortunately I was that person. And I'll never forget matching with my PE teacher by accident. And she called me. She's like, oh my God, twins, we're twins. And I was like, oh my God, just kill me now. But but
Before
these are the things
Instagram,
that
girl. It was before
happen.
Instagram.
listen, the worst. But these are the things that happened before, social media came about. And I know people have their issues and things with social media, but it's literally changed the fashion world as a plus size woman. The average woman is a 16, 18. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. However, I believe fashion only accounts to maybe 30% of being able to go in and actually buy your pieces, which is, again, insane. But I think influencers and models who came in and started posting their outfits made brands change it. Before, shopping was, I'm going into like a Charlotte Russe or Wet Seal or Abercrombie, and I'm headed to the perfume or the handbag section because that's all that I can wear. But now, a girl who's in elementary or high school or college, you can literally shop with your friends. You know what I mean? And in those ages, you want nothing
Mhm,
more than
mhm,
to fit in with everyone else.
mhm,
And now that's an opportunity. Um, but outside of that, growing up in Florida, the weather here is like flip flops and t-shirts and shorts, so very, very casual. And so I had no style sense on top of not having clothing options. It wasn't until I got to New York and I've seen some women finesse an outfit with like $10, $20, and I'm like, oh, so this is fashion.
mhm.
So this is what it means to like have an identity, to have style. So moving to New York was the best thing that ever happened to me, because on top of, living in a society, the media will make you feel like you can't wear this, you can't wear that, you can't have this. New York will tell you, like, I literally don't care what you wear. Just do whatever. Like, riding on the train, you'll see someone in like a unicorn costume, someone wearing all black, and someone in the best fit, and
Own it.
nobody's bothering
Own
them.
it.
Nobody
I,
cares. Right. It's like, oh, okay,
yep.
like cool, whatever. Like that's amazing for someone who's has always felt like, oh my God, I can't wear something. Someone's gonna tell me I can't wear this. Why do I have this on? Nobody cares. So you get the opportunity to explore, find your style, and find new brands. It was me going to Bushwick parties, like loft Bushwick parties in Brooklyn, and seeing people in these streetwear brands or seeing people wear different things and finding indie designers. I'm like, oh, whoa, like, so this is what people are wearing. Like, oh my God, maybe I could be a cool kid now. Like, it's, moving to New York was a game changer. Instagram was a game changer. Tumblr was a
Mhm,
game
mhm.
changer until they took
Ooh,
away the good
throwback.
stuff. So I'm, grateful for this journey for sure.
And I think, that's the thing about New York, that the people automatically assume that New York is like, I'm walking here, give me a slice of pizza,
Yeah,
go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like, but there's so much more to New York, and I think that's what it is,
absolutely,
right? Like, the people that look like they're wearing like the $10 outfit are usually in like the $1,000 fit, and vice versa. And I think like New Yorkers will tell you if what you are doing is not working,
for
but they're
sure,
also so used to like the spectrum in New York. Like, you could walk by, I mean, the man who walks with the cat on his head in Union Square, right? He's
Mhm,
an icon,
mhm, mhm.
fashion icon, the first to do it, let me tell you. But like, that's the beauty of New York, right? And I think you have not just access, but networking. So I think,
absolutely.
you've talked about modeling and New York. Kind of what was that next step for you?
So from there, because I wanted to be signed so bad, and the agencies were like, "Yeah, okay, cool, no, thank you." I was like, "Oh, okay." Social media came in and became my portfolio,
Mhm,
like my
mhm.
resume. So I was like, "All right, cool. Like, I'm going to take every job. I'm going to work with every brand. I'm going to work with all the independent designers." And the best part about that era is because like we just started talking about plus size women wearing swimsuits, so indie designers were giving that to us, but the bigger brands weren't. So I'm being able to model these things that women wanted, but the bigger brands weren't offering. So automatically, like, people are liking and sharing and doing all these different things. And that just kind of blew up a little bit more for me. And then I realized I was making more money from doing like the sponsored posts and stuff like that. And later on, I was able to get the modeling gigs because of my following. So either way, I was like, y'all gonna see me, y'all gonna support me or like me one way or another. There's a door, there's a window, there's a crack open somewhere, and I'm gonna get in here. And I think that's the New York mentality
Mhm,
too. Like,
mhm,
y'all don't take no for an answer.
mhm.
I think every New Yorker I know has like 12 jobs. So
Facts. I
that's
was gonna say.
that's the best place about that's the best thing about this city. Like, again, growing up down south, it's very slow. Like, your career path is getting married, and that's it. Like, that's your goal. It wasn't until I moved to New York and I saw women as like bosses. I saw women owning their stuff. I was like, oh, so there's more to life than just this. Like, that's dope. I want to do that. Like, I want to wear a business suit and a briefcase and tell somebody what to do. And New Yorkers also tell people what they're not going to do. But
Absolutely.
again, I found my place in this beautiful city because it allowed me to. And I hope every young woman gets a chance to live here, at least for a summer, and find themselves and get that hustle mentality. It's hard out here. You're gonna learn something though.
You know, the saying, you make it here, you make it anywhere exists for a reason, right?
Hello.
There is a way in which New York City hardens you in a way, right? And it's just, it sometimes teaches you some tough and cruel life lessons, right? But you become better for it on the other end when you're like, oh no, this is how this game works. You know, obviously you talked about, you know, that we're now starting to see plus size women in swimsuits, etc. How are you feeling about the established brands and what they're doing with plus size models? I know that Jordan brand did a campaign, I want to say last year, where they had plus size women, like, or, you know, regular everyday women. Like, are they doing it just to do it, or do you feel like they're doing it to really be in it? That's okay. Talk your truth.
So
it's a safe space, girl. It's a safe
Is
space.
It though?
Talk your truth. Talk your truth.
So here's my issue. I feel like all the other brands are like on it and they're like killing it. The athleisure brands are extremely slow. Like, I love that Nike kind of took their stance. They had mannequins. Dope. At least on the gram, it looked that way. In certain places, it looked that way. But as a shopper going into a store, am I seeing a plus size mannequin?
Okay.
Am I able to go to your plus size section and find my sizes?
Okay.
But you know that inclusivity and plus size is a buzzword. So you're getting the cool points. You're getting that press, all that stuff from being able to say, well, look what we have. But it's not consistent. It's not, in my humble opinion, real. Even when you go on the site, sometimes the care that should be going into styling your plus size models, it's not there. Like, you literally threw it on and was like, well, we gave you some stuff, please go buy it, or you don't care. And again, I feel like I love what's happening in the inclusivity space. I love that more brands are offering more pieces, but also this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The average woman is a 16, 18. Market to me. We have more options now. So you kind of have to put a little bit more money and a little bit more effort. And in the athleisure streetwear space, extremely slow, bare minimum. And I want to see more.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I love what you're saying there. Sorry, Gab, I don't want to cut you off, but I would say this, Essie, is it also, well, how do you know how to market to plus size women? Or if your boardroom, the people making decisions don't look at all like plus size women.
I'm talking to you. We're talking. I understand. You understand what's coming out of my mouth makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be that hard. That's the thing that I don't understand. And I think, Essie, you hit the nail on the head by saying, like, no one really calls out the athleisure brands because, you know, like, for me, I'm like, I always look the other way because sneakers are inclusive, right?
But are they though?
But are they though?
They're starting to be. I just mean, like, no matter what size clothing I am, I'm still a 7 men.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean.
But will you do that in a campaign though? And that's the other issue that I talk about often. Right. Everybody wears shoes. That's the same exact reason I have about beauty brands, about food brands, lifestyle, whatever. We are all humans, right? So if I'm, brushing my teeth and using toothpaste, fat people do that. Or plus size people, I know some people feel away about that.
Tall people, short people. Yeah.
I mean, well, I would hope. It's hard out here.
I would hope everybody brushes their teeth. I don't know. I hope so.
That's your decision. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we all use beauty products. We all, travel somewhat. We all use cars. Why not be inclusive in that? And that's the other issue that I have with sneaker brands, which is why, we started Thick Laces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And after we started it, we started seeing other brands, other sneaker pages like, oh, y'all exist out here. Well, yeah, we do. And they're starting to change that. But it's extremely odd to me that major brands who have all these dope campaigns, you're not featuring plus size models. But also, why aren't the plus size men making noise? I see
I
it.
mean, that's a thing that's starting to happen.
That's
And I will say, like,
crazy.
I know you talk about Nike. That's something I want to unpack for a minute because I know Nike is like the cog in the wheel that turns the wheel. Without it, the other cogs are like, we're hanging out. We might not move as much, right? Like, they're the beasts that we love. But I will say, like, athleisure, more so than any other type of style, is easy to replicate in different sizes, in my opinion. I'm not
Absolutely.
a designer, but I have worked in fashion before and I've created, like, I've made clothing on my own little small scale. It's a much simpler pattern. Make the, like, a t-shirt is not a complicated cut. So for it to stop at like a women's large or an extra large, to me is insane. But the men have different options. Like, I can get it in long, I can get it in short, I can get it in 37 colors. Why do they not do that for women?
Right.
Makes no
And
sense.
again, that's insane. Or if they do offer it, it's the most basics of styles. And I feel like at this point, we're kind of past that.
Mm, mm,
So these brands that bring in billions, you can do more. You can. And again, I know people talk about women, but I don't understand the plus size men who
mm,
wear this stuff because I'm
True.
seeing it. All these streetwear brands stop at a
mm-hmm,
2X, and y'all are threes and
mm-hmm,
fours. Do you
Which I don't
not want
understand.
this
2X
stuff?
is not that
mm-hmm.
big if you're like a broad guy who's over
Like,
6 feet.
okay,
Like,
listen, I'm wearing the Supreme shirt. I love it. Amazing. I love Al Green. Great. However, oh no, God, that's not Al Green. Is that probably gay? Oh my God. Oh my God.
it's okay, but he's giving me like the best eyes across the camera right now. I'm living
No,
for
it
this
is Al
shirt.
Green. Sorry, it
It
is.
is all great.
But the thing is, they just started to go to double XL, and that sells out quickly. Y'all don't want a 3 or a 4?
That shows the demand and the need for that. If that's what sells out right away, like, come on, y'all. And
So
that's true
then
across the
my thing
board.
is, be honest. If you don't want plus size people in your clothes, just come out and say that. I'm not gonna hate you. It's like,
No.
all right, I respect
Right.
it.
At
But
least
I
you're
don't
honest.
want the anticipation of being like, yo, that'd be dope if they would. It would be amazing if they would. And it's like, oh, stuff is coming, we're expanding, we're this, we're that, and it's not
Yeah.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm gonna make all the noise for the women, but I'm just extremely surprised that the men aren't coming in and saying it. Cause I see y'all and I see y'all squeezing in them XXLs. And I know if a 3X came along, y'all would be killing it like everybody else. But I get it.
That's
Live
big
your
I
life.
facts.
love
I'm
it.
just saying.
I love it. I love it. So you're also the co-founder of Thick Laces. Talk to us about Thick Laces, and again, what you hope that platform becomes, and what is it now, and what do you hope it ultimately becomes?
Absolutely. So again, pandemic shopping, lots of sneakers, following all the popular pages, all the popular women. And I'm using these hashtags. Again, everybody wants to be featured, everybody wants to be seen, everyone wants to get the attention of these brands. So I'm unboxing and I'm tagging and I'm going to these sneaker pages in different places, and none of them are featuring. The more bigger places aren't featuring hardly any black women, but that's another conversation. And they're definitely not featuring any plus size women. And then the pages that exclusively were kind of for black women or women of color weren't featuring any plus size women. And so I'm like, all right, I can use all the hashtags all day. I can tag you all day. You're not going to feature me. Like, I'm not someone that you feel desirable enough to feature. So I reached out to my best friend, Katie, who's the co founder of Thick Laces. She used to be a sneaker plug. So she's someone that I lean on when I don't necessarily know the name of the shoe, when it came out, what year, who
We
made it,
got
what
you, girl.
All
material.
Don't you
good.
worry. We
All
got you.
good.
Right.
All good.
We got you.
She's my go-to person. And so I was like, hey, let's just start a page. I'd already started Golden Confidence. I kind of know what women are looking for. They kind of just want a safe space to be featured, to learn more. She's like, all right, cool, let's do it. And so we started the page. It's just a community, again, just to be featured. And it's grown. I still can't believe that people find it something um, as amazing as it is. Again, super grateful to have started this, but the conversations that we've had with brands, the conversations that we've had with other sneaker pages that didn't think to feature plus size women, they didn't think to ask us questions, they didn't see us as a customer, even though the average woman is bigger,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, they've changed. We've had conversation with brands like, you know what, we didn't see it that way. We're going to change that. we've seen the sneaker pages. Now they're featuring plus size women. They're featuring, you know, the Nike and the Ivy Park campaigns. They're not just featuring the women that look like them. They're featuring everybody. And so again, it's been great to be the change in that. We all wear sneakers. We all wear different things. We all deserve to be seen. So excited to see where else it goes.
That is fantastic. I mean, I feel like Gabby and I could talk to you about this for 17 hours. We of course don't have time for all that.
17 hours. I was saying, Jarod is like, I can take a hint, Jay. I was like,
we do not have time for all that. However, coming up next is America's favorite segment, Shoe and Tell, presented by Another Lane. What's up, y'all? We are back. You know what time it is. America's favorite segment, Shoe and Tell, presented by Another Lane, the premier digital marketplace for dope kicks. We talk about Another Lane every week on this show. You guys know you want to find those rare pairs. You want an education about sneakers. You want to be with a community with like-minded people who just are in this because they love kicks. AnotherLane.com. Get on there, sign up, be a member, and do your thing. Now, Essie, Shoe and Tell is just like how it was when you were a kid. This is all you. You run the show. You show us what you got. Tell us why it matters to you, why it's important, and we'll go from there. So what are you kicking us off with?
I can't wait.
All right. Okay. So these first pair is the Awake and A6. Super, super duper fun fact. I believe Awake was started by Angelo Black. And one of the first big modeling gigs that I ever got, super ashamed by this, but whatever, dope opportunity. I got to model for Vice magazine and Terry Richardson in a piece called Tons of Fun. Do with that information what you will.
I mean,
I didn't know.
I was like, what a time to be alive. Am I right? I can't.
But it was a cool experience.
Yeah.
Angelo was super dope, and I love what he's done with his brand and the collaborations that he's done. I saw this sneaker. Love the pretty colors. Obviously, love like the leopard print here going on. I've heard people say like this is what Balenciaga was trying to do.
Okay.
All right.
But either way, love it. One of my favorites.
Very nice. Love it.
And that's a comfortable shoe too. Not every sneaker is
Super.
comfortable.
Oh my god, all day long. Second is A Life and Saucony's. I feel like they're having a really, really good year. I like that a lot of people are looking at other brands.
Yes.
I saw this, same thing. Love the color. Loved what's happening here. Perfect shoe. I can't wait to like really wear this out in the summertime. So
I would say that's going to be your summer fit, right?
It is. It is. Like,
I just love that is a summertime shoe, man. That is just like
I'll say, Jay, I feel like you need a pair of those. I could see you rocking that.
Listen, Saucony is a wonderful brand.
100%.
Who doesn't? I mean, at one point, everybody owned a Saucony, right? I think it's Saucony. That's how I say it anyway.
I hear Saucony. Okay. I feel like I need to do a poll.
Let's do a poll.
I hear you.
Guys, what do you think? Saucony or Saucony?
I'm Switzerland in this one. I don't want to divide the vote. I like the show, and I like you a lot as well, Essie. So
thank you. You're supposed to be on my side. You're supposed to say it's whatever she says.
It is Women's Month, after all.
Thank you.
Jay knows what that means. I will say, though, Jarod is a man of the ladies. So
I am a man of the ladies. That's true. That is true.
And the last is Solomon. I love... Again, I feel like what's happening in the sneaker space, obviously Nike will forever be, the gods to everyone. But I like what's happening with New Balance. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of New Balance. Can't wait for the 650s to come out. I missed out the first go round, so definitely can't wait to get that. But I love what Solomon is doing. And actually, a friend who I had a conversation with a little while ago was talking about accessibility. And Solomon is, you don't have to have a tie. Like, it's very easy to slip on, super comfortable, and very stylish. And again, New Yorkers are the first to be on it. And so I've seen a couple people wear them. I saw this sneaker. They were kind enough to send it to me. I'll be 100% transparent. So I love the shoe. I love the sneaker. Love the reflectiveness. And again, I think this is a brand that's going to be out here for a minute and get you a pair before the prices get crazy.
I would say y'all heard it here first.
Essie, we are never ashamed to get free merch on this show.
It's
So
not something I can relate to.
don't ever be out here shy about some brands sending
Never
you
be
free,
shy.
because I'm all
Grateful.
about that. My favorite
Yes.
price, free $99.
99.
Amen. Amen.
That's right.
Oh man, this was great, Essie. Thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoyed just hearing your story, your journey. What you're doing, obviously, out there for women is incredible. Please keep up the great work. Tell our listeners and viewers where they can find you on socials and all that.
So on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's Essie Golden. That's ESSIEGOLDN. Yes, that is my real name. And then my sneaker page, Thick Laces, THICKLACES, is on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. Again, if you want to know about sneakers and just are a plus size person or women and want to be included, those are the pages you definitely want to follow. So thank you guys for allowing me to share my favorites and to ramble and to share my story. I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate having you. And of course, folks, you know where to find us. We are part of that Count the Things family. We're on the original Bomb podcast feed, where you find BOMM, where you find the Euphoria recap show, Rue's Kitchen, Crypto Bros, Rap Names Podcast, Woke Bros, and of course us.